hey, we've never heard of these guys. They must be an expansion franchise. It's the Toronto Maple Leafs. What a silly name.
It's dumb.
They didn't even spell Leafs right. It's Leaves. What's up with these people? Anyway, last year, apparently, I guess they existed and they won the division. Something we're getting used to in Toronto these days. Blue Jays and Leafs in the same year. 108 points. This is 52 wins. It's a lot.
It's a lot of wins.
That's good for them.
That's so many wins.
That is so many wins. And the Toronto Maple Leafs, what do you guys think their over-under is? 108 points last year. They do lose Mitch Marner.
104.5 Chum FM.
No.
Lower.
Jesse.
Lower.
Oh, guess what the over-under
Yeah,
is?
just guess it.
You said lower?
Lower than 104.
101.
99.5.
Wow.
Wow.
I am hammering the over on that.
Yeah, I'm hitting the over on
Now,
that.
I think the Atlantic
That's a big drop.
It is a big drop, and I think the Atlantic is wide open this year, and it is Toronto's for the taking. Let's start in goal. Obviously, we don't know the status of Joseph Woll, so we're going to pretend like he is playing because we know it's not an injury.
Yeah.
But, most teams use 3 or 4 goalies throughout the year. We expect to see Reimer, expect to see Hildaby at very least. Anthony Stolarz, though, the series against Florida really was won and lost on his injury.
Yeah, and it's not that Woll is bad.
I think just Stolarz is more experienced.
Well, different play styles. Stolarz is better at handling the puck. But, I mean, they're the last team that we're doing. So by now, I have them second in the Atlantic. I couldn't, without knowing the status of Joseph Woll, put them first. If Stolarz and Woll have a pretty healthy year where they each missed very little time, yeah, I could see them winning the division again. I really could, even without Marner. But not knowing how many games Stolarz can give you and not knowing when Woll is coming back, those are two extremely good goalies. I think Reimer on a PTO is a good idea. Hildaby, I guess we'll see, but he's as good an option as any. Mm-hmm. It's good. It's fine. And again, I have them second. That's very good. But giving them the first spot is just hard.
Jesse, thoughts on the goaltending?
I think last year when Stolarz was out with his injury and Woll had to hold things together, I don't think the situation will be too dissimilar this season. I think we got 34 games out of Stolarz this year. You could probably add 25 to that for this year, maybe 20 in these 54 games. And then if you get Woll back at some point, he's going to fill in 25, 30 of those. And then if he fills in 30, that's the whole season. And if he fills in 20-ish, then you just need some competent goaltending from Hildaby or Reimer. I'm actually not concerned of the goaltending at all because I think when Stolarz is in there, he is as good as anyone in this league. He led the league in save percentage under his qualified number of save percentage.
Yeah.
If we cut it
25
off
games.
where
25 games.
he had enough qualified starts, then he led the league. And I think we can expect that out of him because he's proven the last couple seasons that he can be that goalie. So I'm going to bet that he is that goalie this year for the Leafs.
The only season in his professional career where he's played more than 40 games was 15-16 in the AHL with the Lehigh Valley Phantoms.
Mm-hmm. And this year, this is your shot.
This is your shot.
Yep.
Either take it or leave it. This is your one shot. We gave you the contract. The backup goalie's gone. This is it. And I think he's got the mentality and the work ethic and the ability to stay healthy to rise to the challenge.
This is what the money's for.
Yeah.
Yep. Now I'm looking at their defense. And last year, this was a much changed defense. There were a lot of questions. Everybody was excited about the arrival of Tanev. I don't know if we can put into words what a change that was from any Leafs defense core we've seen in 25 years. Truly the best defensive defenseman I've ever seen them have, maybe since Dmitry Yuskevich.
And then pairing him with McCabe, fantastic.
Amazing.
And now Riley, who spent a huge chunk of last year playing with Philip Myers, it's a full year of Brandon Carlo.
And Brandon Carlo, to me, is he's everything that they tried to tell me Martin Marincin could be. He is the you shall not pass.
Well, and
he is, and by the way, I'm not trying to be disrespectful to Brandon Carlo. Brandon Carlo is an elite shutdown defenseman as well. And that is what's so exciting at his cap hit, which is so small.
Well, and because, I guess they lack they lack like a number one guy, but the top four is just so damn strong.
Well, Jesse, doesn't the number one guy need to be Morgan Riley again?
Yes.
It does. And they've put the pressure on him publicly and privately to get back to being what Morgan Riley can be and peak even higher than he's ever peaked before. Like, there is organizational pressure from every side of it to see Morgan Riley excel in the spots that he is given this year. And that's going to be quarterbacking PP1 and playing the majority of the minutes from the sixth defenseman. Everything is on this season for Morgan Riley, because I think if he can't excel this year, there's going to be some serious questions about putting pressure on him to move off of this organization.
What does success look like, though? Points-wise, play-wise, what are you guys looking for Morgan?
I think it's a lot of team success. So like winning the division would be huge.
They won the division last year, and he objectively was not good.
He had one of the worst seasons of his career.
So double-digit goals, 50-plus points.
Okay, Jesse, do you agree?
I think that's a really good bar. For me, want to see him play the defensive style that he was incapable of learning very quickly last year under Craig Berube. First season under Craig Berube, could not figure out when to pinch and when to stay back and when to play hard-nosed defense and when to not. He needs to get comfy within playing under Craig Berube's rules, and I hope this year we see that from him.
In fantasy, like, he's pretty good pick to have a way better year on account of he just gets slotted right into Leafs PP1.
Yeah.
On account of Marner's not there anymore.
Well, and because Marner's not there, the core four no longer really exists. Marner gone, Tavares a severely reduced salary at $4.389.
It's crazy.
Still pretty sweet to make that kind of money, to be honest with you. But John Tavares is worth it.
It'll do.
It's really just the dynamic duo in terms of salaries. Matthews, Nylander, $13 and $11 million, and then you got Nyes on his new extension at $7.75. Everybody else outside of Tavares has a 3 or less in front of their name. And so what I want to talk about, guys, is the diffusion of money and skill and maybe talent throughout the roster. And what I mean by that is they got nothing from their depth last year in scoring. Nothing. How does that change this year?
It's still a little have and have not, but they're going to. I mean, Matthews I think it would shock if he didn't have a better goal scoring output than he did last season, and he still had 33. Like he went on a couple hot streaks there. If he's right back in the 50-plus range, that's hilarious, and that makes up for a big chunk of Marner's loss. Matthews had really good seasons without Marner on his line. I think he'll live. And your third and fourth line, at least as we've seen in camp so far, are actual legitimate options to score. Whereas you got next to nothing out of your bottom six. Nick Robertson had more goals than
everybody else.
It
was like after the core four, it was like Bobby McMahon and then Nick Robertson, right? Like there was not a lot of goal scoring beyond that.
They had 6 guys hit 20 goals, and only one other player even hit double digits. And it was a guy who's not an everyday player.
Jesse, when you see it in person at camp, who do you think from that third line is really going to stick out? And I'm assuming the third line looks like this. Waugh, Joshua, Michelli.
I've been pumping the tires of Dakota Joshua since training camp has started. He is such a hard-nosed player and such a big body, and he's not afraid to get physical. He loves to muck it up with everybody. But then seeing the line together, it might be Waugh who surprises everybody. Like, he's out there and he's as big as anybody. Like, it's underrated how huge the third line is now. And it's truly, in my opinion, addition by subtraction with with Marner leaving. Him leaving has allowed them to build out the rest of the forward group.
To have a team.
You are hampered by that giant cap hit, and now they can't just replace the 100 points point blank. This is how we're going to get the 100.
It can't be one guy that comes in and does it.
No, but they're getting not the points part of it. They're getting other styles of hockey throughout the rest of the lineup. They're allowed to have guys like Waugh and Joshua there now because they don't have the giant cap hit taken up by Mitch Marner. So if you're looking for the highlight on that third line, it's going to be the two of them and the way they play in front of the net on the offensive side of things and the way that guys are going to struggle to get through them in the neutral zone because they're so big.
2 things. Number 1, planting my flag right now. Nicolas Waugh, first Leaf goal of the season.
Okay.
Oh, that's
all right.
interesting.
It's going to happen. Number 2, full season of Scott Laughton as your fourth line center is a joke. He was not that's not a fourth line center. He hasn't played his whole career as fourth line center for the Flyers. I know Leaf fans were disappointed in his offensive output when he got here. It's a new season. Watch out.
Two things have been plaguing the Leafs for years: depth at center and their defensive core. Brad Treliving took last year and remade their defense, completely remade it. And I would say it's one of the strengths of the team now.
An underrated strength of the defense, just side note, they have a luxury that not many teams have because they're bringing back the full 7 guys. They have a luxury.
Not just 6.
It's not just the 6. The extras, too. It's a cheat code.
Yeah.
These guys played an entire season together. They got another whole season together this year. And that relationship they have and just the knowing how the entire core plays from 1 through 7 is a cheat code, and they'll have that advantage.
Because there's
no assembly required.
There's chemistry there.
Yeah, it does. Now, Steve, you mentioned Scott Laughton as a fourth line center, right? Like I said, they remade the defense. This year, it seems they've remade, in the last 6 months, remade the center position, which is great. Because Waugh and Laughton, they're snarly, they're mean. They also can score. Laughton gets 30 points. Waugh has had 15 goals in the past. The one guy that might make it out of camp at this point, it's looking like, is Easton Cowan. And he would be a fourth line right winger. So, in the past, the Toronto Maple Leafs have made a mistake many, many times, and this is pre-Dubas and Shanny, so it's a long time ago for a lot of you. It doesn't feel like that long ago for me. Where they would bring up guys, and I'm thinking like Jerry D'Amigo and like Josh Levo, and guys that could, but they would bounce them around and then up and down and up and down and up and down, destroy their confidence, and they wouldn't really develop properly. Easton Cowan played in the OHL last year. He was amazing. But this guy was playing in the OHL.
It's not the same.
It's not the same. Preseason, he's looked good. But again, regular season is a step up. If he's going to play that role, and if this is going to be good for him, how does that line look? What does it do? And what does, as a third question, Easton Cowan need to do to stay?
Inglorious bastards. They just got to be a big old bunch of bastards. He's a bastard, and Scott Laughton's a bastard, and Steven Lorentz, very nice man, bastard. That's what they need to be. Like, here's an idea of how that line has changed. Pretty sure the guy who was in that spot for most of the first half of last season was Ryan Reeves, who I think had 2 assists.
Unfortunately, Ryan at this point in his career was not a playable option for a team with cup ambitions.
What the Leafs
like regularly, right?
The Leafs with their old construction. What are you going to do with your fourth line? Is it going to be able to score? Well, no, because we have guys making like league minimum down there. Now you have a guy who Laughton was playing in like the Flyers' middle 6. You have Lorentz, who seemed more than capable based on last year, and you have Easton Cowan, who has, maybe middle 6, second line winger potential there. You're able to score on all 4 lines. What they did before with the budget that they had is let's just bang and crash and that's it. The fourth line can play hockey this time. And I think that'll be, what a luxury, what a relief for a coaching staff. Like, if the Leafs were losing games, you saw last year, they ran out of ideas pretty quick if they were behind big. I don't think they'll have that this year.
How many games is a successful year at the NHL level for Easton Cowan, Jesse, from the organizational standpoint? I know Easton Cowan would tell you 82. But what does that look like?
For me, it'd be like 0. Like,
so you think they should just send him down and put Calle Yarncroke in there?
You could have an entirely successful season this year if you're Easton Cowan, in my eyes, by not cracking this roster. And they have Yarncroke there, or they hang on to Comp and they play Robertson. I don't need Cowan to be an NHLer this year. I think he can excel by developing on the Marlies. I guess if you look forward to the end of the season, maybe there's the time you bring him up and you play him there. But in terms of starting, like, I get that he might be on the roster opening day and all that. But for me, it's not necessary for the development curve of him and for the success of this team this year. I'm not relying on Easton Cowan.
They might give him just a taste.
Yeah.
Because Yarncroke has had a very good camp, And
He was in so much pain last year too, like crazy
Yeah.
amounts of pain.
And now he is hopefully on the other side of that. He has a history of scoring double-digit goals. He's a pretty decent penalty killer. Like, is Easton Cowan going to be killing penalties for you?
I would think they're going to have to train him to do that. And Marley's is a better place.
Or, exactly, right? So,
If the number was 0, I wouldn't be fussed.
Okay.
I think it's cup of coffee
Go down.
in the big time. Cup of coffee, yeah, in the big time. And Yarncroke makes a fourth line of Lorentz, Lawton, Yarncroke wasn't that what they had in the playoffs?
Yes.
And it was really good against the Sens. Wasn't very good against Florida, but it's a line they already had, except it's not a situation where 2 of the 3 are healthy, and it's 3 out of 3.
Yeah, this is going to be a really, really interesting season for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Now, gentlemen, we've got we got to predict where they go. Where does the Toronto Maple Leafs? Where do they finish by the end of this season?
I renounce my Lightning pick, and they're going to be first. No, I'm kidding. I got to stick to it. Second.
No back-to-back division champs, huh?
No.
Okay. All right, Jesse. Where do you have them?
Numero uno. I think they win the division again.
I can see them doing it.
I agree with. Well, you had them in second. That's not much of a hot take. I also would say I think they're going to win the division again. And you know what? I think this team does quietly. I mean, they've let many things to prove, but the question that has surrounded them all year long, guys, has been, or this all summer long, is, well, what are they going to be without Marner? We're about to find out, and it might be a good thing too.
Might be good for both.
That's your Toronto Maple Leaf season preview.